The announcement you've been waiting for is finally official. A detailed plan for $2,000 direct payments has just been laid out. This isn't just a rumor anymore. All the critical information is now public, coming straight from the top. So what does this mean for you? If you've been following this story, the moment for clarity has arrived. Citizens nationwide have been holding their breath for this financial update, and now, according to the latest statements, that relief is closer than ever to becoming reality. But there's more to it. A specific schedule for distributing these $2,000 payments has just been released. This is significant news for countless working families and individuals who have been anticipating this support. If you're among those expecting this money, then you cannot afford to miss what comes next. Before we get into all the specifics, could you do me a quick favor? If you're ready for these details, just tap that like button right now. It really helps the channel. Fantastic. Let's jump right in. The process is officially in motion. The crucial timeline for when these funds will actually hit bank accounts has now been shared. Here's what we know. A definitive schedule for the $2,000 tariff rebate payments has been presented. And in a major recent press discussion, this is critical. Many got distracted by other international news stories. While those events dominated the media cycle, a lot of people were left asking about the status of these promised funds, why the public dialogue about them went quiet, and what the actual strategy is for distribution. Well, now, in that major interview, key insights about these payments were provided that could benefit a huge number of people. However, there is an important condition attached. Consider this. He expressed his belief that the funds can be disbursed without needing legislative backing. This is massive because most political observers and policy specialists, including some who generally support the administration, argue that such direct spending typically requires a congressional vote. But the assertion from the top is different. The claim is, no, approval from the legislature isn't necessary. The authority rests solely with me. That's correct. You heard that right. The intended method for making it occur is via a fresh presidential directive. So, the position being taken is that these payments could be delivered to millions with a single pen stroke. Now, on to the finer points. The exact origins weren't detailed, and it was stated that the financing would stem from alternate revenue streams, though those specific streams weren't clearly defined. According to the statement, tariff revenues by themselves are wholly sufficient to pay for this program. Financial commentators and economists concur that tariffs are generating enormous sums, which is a positive for national finances. On the other side, there's a claim that the country isn't earning mere millions or billions, but actually trillions from these trade levies. That's the stated reason it should be relatively straightforward to mail out these $2,000 checks. And here's the critical figure. The overall price tag for the government to send these payments is only $160 billion. Yes, that's the number, $160 billion. And these funds could be accessed by a vast number of citizens. There is a strong stated commitment to getting this money out, with confidence that it will be a simple process. Look at this development. That stands in contrast to what a top White House economic advisor said last December, which was that tariff rebate checks would require lawmakers' consent. So right here, we have the leadership saying they believe the money can be moved without Congress. Okay. Meanwhile, that key advisor stated that no, checks will need that legislative approval. Well, there appears to be some disagreement on that side of the aisle. But regarding this new development, it's ultimately promising news for people. And here's the explanation. If these payments are authorized via presidential action, it implies they might get to you much faster, because once such a directive is issued, the machinery of government tends to activate quickly, particularly at the national level. Now, it appears that if this order is signed, though many argue it's improbable, it could accelerate the timeline. Key figures within the same political sphere, including the Treasury head and other senior advisors, have raised questions. One prominent supporter even suggested these checks might reach people within the initial quarter of 2026. Let me be precise. He indicated they could be distributed at that time. Concurrently, there's been a statement that these payments will be delivered to Americans by the middle of 2026, shortly before the congressional elections, a timing that some political strategists see as logical. The motive seems apparent. It's viewed as a method to rebuild confidence with a large segment of the population, but the full picture is more intricate. Consider this next layer. There are additional possible obstacles, including budget projections and a pending High Court ruling that could theoretically force a full repayment. That's right, you heard correctly. We're focusing on the tariff income. Based on analysis from many quarters, if the highest court were to overturn the existing tariff framework, it could create a substantial economic disruption. That's precisely why numerous experts assume everything will proceed without a major hitch. However, there's a stipulation. A new target window has now been announced for next year. No firm dates were offered. The comment was simply that a substantial rebate would be delivered to the public before the close of next year. While departing on the presidential aircraft, a mention was made that the checks could be mailed around the midpoint of 2026. And now, in this new press conversation, the claim is that the funds will be with Americans by the end of 2026. This is deeply frustrating for millions who have faith in this government and its leader. Offering optimism is one part of the equation, but failing to deliver on it is another. And currently, the outlook isn't particularly bright. The cause is straightforward. Many families are facing hardship because of persistent price increases and a cost of living squeeze, as noted by several opposition leaders. So the central query persists. Will these $2,000 checks truly materialize? Or is this another illusory promise or tactical maneuver, reminiscent of other previously announced financial pledges involving high-profile personalities? I want to hear your perspective. What's your take on this entire scenario? Do you back the idea of these $2,000 payments? If you do, go down to the comments and type out yes to the $2,000. Keep in mind, without public voice, transformation is unlikely. And if you want daily alerts on the status of these $2,000 payments, plus information on all government and state assistance programs, like retirement benefits, food assistance, veterans programs, disability, railroad pensions, and military benefits, then you are in the right place. This is your essential source. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel and enable notifications so you're always informed on any economic updates or relief news that could impact your wallet. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with another report very soon. Until then, take care.